What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Gaia. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is ChronoJJ. The map is competitive and random, but it does look like a little bit. It looks a little bit like Oasis, except not Oasis, because it's got tons of hunt, ladies and gentlemen. We are playing on Max Hunt Oasis. I love this. There's also a little bit of water down the bottom here. No fish on this map, however. Just a little bit of water just spread around. Just make it a little bit of a niceties here as well, as we get to see this game kicking off. I'm excited to see what ChronoJJ is going to come up with here, because while ChronoJJ's glory days are behind him, he's still got that strategic mind, that strategy mind that I think a lot of the newcomers might not really be aware of. ChronoJJ comes up with some really, really fun strategies, some really, really interesting strategies. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. He can be really aggressive, he can be really greedy. Lots of different ideas here. And especially playing Set. Set is one of the trickiest gods in terms of strategy out there, because there's just so much he can do. He can mass new bites. He can go 2 town center kind of boomy play. He can go 2 town center timing attack. He can go 3 town centers. He can go fast mythic. He can go 2 town centers fast mythic. He can go 2 town center classical fight. He can go massive new bite 2 town center. There's so many options, and they all come down to just scouting the set, and if you can kind of work it out, maybe you can defend it. You still have to play well if you know what's coming, but he is definitely one of the trickiest gods out there. If we take a look over here for Rappel's main base, he's eating himself some boars here. He's got himself hand axe, he's got himself pickaxe, and he is motoring ahead in this early game. This is something that is kind of unique to Gaia. We don't see this very much from many civilizations, maybe with the exception of, say, like a Greek player who wants to get fast 3 town centers. There's kind of a build order which kind of popularized by, I want to say Nullus, but I think maybe someone did it before him. But basically it's a 5-15 advance time with hand axe, pickaxe, and you can drop that 2nd town center and 3rd town center very, very fast. But this is the only god that can really do it seriously every single game, and Rapl is going for it. He's going for the very, very early upgrades. He's jumping onto these chickens over here, and we'll see how things are going to shape up for Rapl as he's defending his gold mine at the front, manor on the back. Nice and a decent position where that's concerned, as we do see a little bit of a scouty scout onto this position over here. Nice little wood formation here for ChronoJJ to use as a wall to defend this in, and we'll see if it's enough for him to kind of hold on here as he's trying to motor ahead to the next age town. Temple is already up, wants to get a 4:30 advance time. Going through instead of going through Anubis, no second monument up just yet for ChronoJJ either. And a villager on the wood line here. I'm interested to see what that's for. It probably is just for a pickaxe, but he's also got a ton of villagers on the gold mine now. Not empowering it, but he might be going for a fast 2nd town center. But the point here is ChronoJJ not going Anubis. This is where the advantage generally lies for Set in this matchup, is through Anubites. They've got 5-second recharge time on their jumps, and they're just a very, very annoying unit to deal with for pretty much everyone, and especially a non-Gaia player. Maybe like the Gaia mains out there, the Kavoths out there can deal with it to some degree, but Rapl already advancing. He's gone through Leto here. It's a little bit in the plus column for ChronoJJ though, as it looks like to me he is indeed going for a 2nd town center. I'd love for him to grab this one with this hunt right behind it, as the villagers getting pulled off of the gold, getting pulled off of the food. Wait. I love it. ChronoJJ, he's up to ChronoJJ things yet again. Refuses to be anyone other than himself in this series, as he is stealing not only the town center away from Rapl, but he's also stealing the hunt away from Rapl, which I love, love, love. The other thing that I think that Chrono could do here is come back and steal this hunt. Basically convert it there to ensure that Rapl can't just shut the map off, come up onto this position and enjoy this one. So we'll see how this is going. There's actually another thing that is really, really nice about doing this from the set perspective, and that's that you don't have to move your villages, walk your villages to the second town center. And if you save a lot of resources doing this. You might think, man, why wouldn't you want to use shifting sands to kill off a handful of units of your opponent? Well, the answer is that it's probably worth it to just get this town center up as fast as you can with the shifting sands most of the time. You get more resources because your villages come out faster. You get less walking time on these villages, which means you get more resources, which might put yourself in a better position. Who knows? We do see some villagers coming up onto this settlement here as Rapl just calmly wants to grab this one. I'm sure sitting back and trying to get enough economy and enough fight to push in here and deal with this is not a bad idea. We do see some slingers coming out. Did we see pickaxe? Yes, we did. Walls coming up here. I would have loved to have seen a wall kind of coming through here if at all possible as the priest moving back. As the units coming forward for Rapl, we're going to be looking for a little bit of pressure, but nothing really to happen over here with the walls already up. So nice defensive play from Mr. ChronoJJ thus far. And Rapl now jumping onto cows for the time being. Does he have husbandry? Yes, he does. So these cows are going to come in very fast. We see an armory. And the threat of behemoths is generally pretty real. But ChronoJJ, I think he's sniffing this out. He's getting an armory up. I think he's sniffing this out. We do see the priest coming over here, going to deal with that automaton, no problems. And here's the thing. Rapl going to town center fast heroic will not be able to match ChronoJJ going to town center fast heroic. ChronoJJ will be in the heroic age first because he's got access to the hunt, because he's got access to the Pharaoh empowerment, and because he got this town center up significantly earlier than Rapl did. The only problem here isn't a problem because the villagers are on the gold, so he's going to get that gold in as well. We just see it slightly late on that gold, but no problems. As the armory now coming up for ChronoJJ as well. One problem that I would love to see rectified is only one monument. 2 monuments is great. 3 monuments is better, but that might happen a little bit later in the game as we do see that heroic age now coming through for ChronoJJ. Now, I love this here from Rapl. He's pushing forward, not taking the opportunity there, ChronoJJ, to get those walls up nice and early. And Rapl is going to be making him pay for this just a little bit with some military abilities coming down on this town center, just to either secure it for himself for one, but more importantly, just ensuring that ChronoJJ cannot get this one for himself here as we are seeing. Gazelle of set while going to the heroic age. I don't know, man. Just, you don't need it. Put the villagers onto wood. You've got all the cows in the world in your main base. Just eat those and put everyone else on wood. Happy days. We do see some villagers moving over onto the gold mine here. We'll see what sort of a plan here ChronoJJ has, because he might just be wanting to go fast mythic, which I don't think is a bad idea either. But Rapl is going fast heroic here, which probably through Rhea. Yes, he is going through Rhea, which does mean that there is a timing if ChronoJJ is wanting to go for a fast mythic here. There is definitely a timing in this game. As the barracks coming up, walls coming down here for the Rapl, as we do see the Scorpion Man. Will it get through in time is the big question. As the villager comes in, stepping onto the wall, the villager does see the bad news over here. Do we see a market coming up in the main base? No market. Do we see a Migdol? We see a siege works, but no market anywhere on the map. No sneakiness here from ChronoJJ. I like it. Because I don't think it would work too well. I think he's just going to get beaten up by the behemoth. But if he can get some military buildings down, get some army out, and especially get some priests out, he should be okay here. As the Scorpion Man does manage to snipe a citizen before getting out of this position. Unfortunately, he can't get the barracks up, but he does put a barracks down here. And we'll see if... see what can happen here for ChronoJJ. As a Migdol stronghold coming down very, very slowly with just a handful of villagers. He does need to get priests out and or get funeral rites. So both would be great. As the Behemoth making his way forward. There is a Pharaoh on the front, so that's going to do a decent amount of damage there, as you do see a Palace coming out. That's pretty fast. Arcus Destroyers is always a difficult unit composition to deal with, but I tell you what's an answer to Arcus Destroyer? Slinger Axeman. It's not a bad idea, especially if you want to put the effort into microing. If you don't, then it's a terrible idea, but we'll see how it's going to go. Yeah, Bubba Joe the Pharaoh is, he shows his ugly face yet again. As the Siege Tower rolling forward, we do see the Slingers getting taken out here as well. And Trader. Oh, I love that idea. He's gonna be able to use this to kill ChronoJJ now. He doesn't really have a great answer against the Siege Towers, apart from his own Siege Towers here. Funeral Rites now coming through for ChronoJJ. That'll be a big help for the Pharaoh. It does give an extra 100% bonus damage, I think. So I don't see Chrono getting too beat up here. I think he should be okay. But I do love that Rappel is abusing the range right here. This is still one of the biggest difficulties of utilizing using counter archers, is that the range is always less. 16 range slingers. Oh, it's the micro here from ChronoJJ dropping into the Siege Towers. He's got to do that a little bit better though, if he wants to fully abuse that. A couple of idle villages here for ChronoJJ need to get sorted out fairly soon as the wall's finishing up over here. Rapl is securing this position nicely. As the Pharaoh comes through, we do see Ancestors getting dropped down as the Pharaoh is in under a lot of pressure. A couple of Hero Archers coming through here as well. The town center falling very, very fast here as the Scorpion Men moving forward, trying to get a little bit of damage done. The villagers trying to repair this one back up. Is this going to be able to get held here? The Pharaoh not empowering the town center, as it does end up going down there, ladies and gentlemen. But Rapl does need to pull back for the time being here, as ChronoJJ can very simply just get this one back up. Lots of villagers jumping onto here. Pharaoh going to be empowering this one as well. The Spider Lair was dropped down here a little bit, but it's not really done anything just yet. As the Ark is trying to push forward, going to attempt to snipe that Pharaoh, and they do indeed manage to do so, but good micro from Chrono to just pull back there as the towns that are getting denied ever so slightly by those destroyers here. Able to stop it from going up here. Beautiful play. A great control on those Archers as the Pharaoh coming back in. The Chariot Archer gets taken out. The villagers not enough here as the Siege Tower needs to get pulled back. ChronoJJ a little bit housed as well. I'm not sure how that happened as the house is coming up in his main base there. There's another barracks getting thrown up there. Rapl at 0 resources here, 100 population, trying to make this push happen as the Slinger there gets not only killed but also eaten at the same time. But these Siege Towers are doing work here at the moment. They are making good work of these Archers here, in all honesty. 50 crush damage against the 99% crush armor unit. Will only be doing 1 damage a second, but they shoot 3 arrows, so it's still doing 3 damage a second, I think. Plus, obviously, it doesn't shoot every 1 arrow a second, so it does a little bit more every shot. So it's quite a bit. As Chrono is now in a difficult position, getting this town center up over here. We do see a cheeky Siege Tower coming in, going to be able to take out the gate, take out the military barracks over there, as the units still pushing forward. Part of me wants to take back that idea before, and like, ChronoJJ should have gone for a fast mythic here. He would have been so good, because he could have been spamming Rhinos of Set here, and they would have been absolutely devastating this Rappel army at this point. One big thing that I think that Rappel has kind of forgotten here. Oh, not really. He's actually almost got them all. He's missing Carpenters and he's missing Quarry, which I think is a big problem. As another trader comes down, stealing yet another Siege Tower away from ChronoJJ. As this Migdol Stronghold will end up getting finished up here. Some more barracks coming down over here as ChronoJJ desperately trying to hold on. He's got so many resources in the bank, but he's just not able to hold on to them. Another Migdol Stronghold coming up on this position here as the Siege Tower trying to break through here. We do see some Archers getting trained, but really, Rappel needs some melee units here, in all honesty, as Slingers coming in and Chrono going to try and break through here. Chrono's really good at attacking the other positions when he's kind of losing. He's always trying to find some sort of an advantage. As the Siege Tower gets taken down, A little cheeky bit of spider eggs over here as the military barracks going to get cleaned up. Chrono wants this town center for himself as he pulls all the way back home. He's got a lot of gold mines remaining, and getting a wall up on this top side of the map here to secure a trade route. It's not a bad idea. It's a decent trade route from one way to the other. As the village is just going to have to wait for that Gaia Lush, the long wait for the Gaia Lush to go away. As ChronoJJ, just so many resources. He's got to spend these resources somehow, as Mason's now coming through for ChronoJJ. He's in the corner of the map with these villagers. What is he doing? There's the town center coming up. A market up for Rappel as well. He's going to shoot towards that Mythic Age. As the barracks now coming up. And that Gaia Lush is now finished up there as well. As Rappel now marching into this location. Chrono, 26 villagers having to retreat away. And not only that, 5 destroyers here. They are only medium. I say only medium, but they're only medium here. Against a fortified town center, it might not be enough. This fortified town center is also coming up for Rappel as well. He still doesn't have that carpenters or anything else. ChronoJJ actually ready to jump to the Mythic Age. Does he have the market? He mustn't. When playing as Egyptian, I think it's pretty important to just drop a market down with a random villager in your main base. There's a couple of reasons for it. One, you can start the camel caravans. Yes, they're terrible until you get a trade route set up. But more importantly, you can trade and you can go Mythic Age. As Hecate now coming through for Rapl. As the villagers on this side of the map here. A cheeky citizen trying to make its way through. It's going to get told a big fat no here. As Rapl either has to push all the way through here or rotate all the way around up to this top side here to take ChronoJJ's gold mine out. I'm surprised to see this. Normally we see people like trying to rush their Migdol strongholds up as fast as they can to start production, but Chrono doesn't care. He's just like 4 villages is enough. 4 villages in the Pharaoh is enough. Maybe he's not wrong. He's probably not. As these units are going to try and break through here. There's a couple of walls to break through, but I mean, he will find some villages on this position here. Also, a Tartarian gate onto that temple is going to be devastating. Or even a Tartarian gate onto the Migdol stronghold wouldn't be a bad idea either, hitting the gold mine. As we see a trade route started as well for the Rapl. He hasn't put the market into the direct corner here, but it's a decent start. And always getting your economy going as Atlantean is one of those things that kind of feels bad. But when you're playing as Gaia, you're not really playing as Atlantean. You're playing a very different game. And in actuality, Set versus Gaia, I'm pretty sure Gaia wins this in the late game. So you have to kind of find some sort of an advantage. As we do see the Tartarian gate down here, plus the Gaia forest around it. The best way to do this is to wedge it against the edge of a map and cast Gaia Forest, or against a forest and cast Gaia Forest. That way it becomes very, like, nearly impossible to attack this. But this is a funny usage of this. This actually works really, really well. As the pressure mounting, as ChronoJJ is he's producing everything he possibly can. Some giraffes coming out here as well. There's a citizen falling, but what else here can Chrono do? I mean, there is still the timing that's a problem. Like, kind of. Horus is on the way, so that will be a big assistance here for Chrono. Though he's losing houses and he's trying to deal with this somehow. If we take a look at the other side here, it's still a big portion of this Tartarian gate that can get attacked. Also, as Catapult can just roll over here and start dealing with this as well. That's not a problem either. These what are these giraffes doing? Send the giraffes over. Eat the giraffes. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to play set and make these giraffes work. You have to be microing quite a bit to make it work. As the slingers here, they're starting to do work. Once they get their upgrades, they actually start getting close to the range of those archers. And in actuality, slingers are amazing. These are so good at taking out archers. You have to invest quite a bit into them, but they are really, really good. Because there's now the Mythic Age for Chrono. He does have a Siege Works here, as a Siege Tower is attempting to come over here and get involved, but he could get a catapult out to clean this this Tartarian gate out. Also, priests they're actually not a bad unit against. It's only got 60% pierce armor as opposed to normal buildings. As Chrono's still short a little bit of population here, and he's trying to just hold on in this game. This gold mine is kind of technically his last gold mine, though he's up on the other side. He's getting the Migdol stronghold up. He can retreat ever so slightly once this gold mine's gone. And we see some rhinos coming through here. Going to be eating those as well. Never-ending source of protein. As the... what did he use that on? What did he steal? He didn't steal the Avenger, which is weird. Oh, the catapult. He stole the catapult. I see. I see. Makes sense. As the rhinos push through, and we do see a little bit of a pushback here from ChronoJJ in this position here. As the Tartarian gate is now finally dealt with. That's a really long-lasting Titan gate there. As villagers getting sniped down over here, we do see the priest moving forward. But one big weakness of Rappel going for Hecate is that he doesn't get that Titan shield upgrade that comes from going Atlas, boosting your buildings' defenses considerably. So we'll see if that becomes somewhat of an issue for him in this game or not. As the behemoth getting taken out. But honestly, ChronoJJ is out of gold here. He is over on this position yet again. We do see in classic ChronoJJ fashion, he is about to start causing some problems as Stone Walls does manage to come through in time here. There's plenty of gold on the map here. We do see a market up as well in the corner for Rappel as he is motoring ahead. His economy is probably a million times bigger. Is it? Actually, I'm interested in seeing this. It's not that big of a difference. 10,000 resources at 23 minutes into the game. It's not that big of a difference. ChronoJJ yet again housed. Where's his housing? Get some houses up, my friend. You got 85 favor. Use the favor. Get feral. Make riders of set. They're so good. There's Rapl moving back in. More military buildings coming down on this position as well. Yeah, the point is with 10,000 resources being different, you kind of make up for that difference in the animals you can build. So it's kind of normal to be behind as set because you can get the free army to some degree with the animals. So we do see a tornado getting dropped down onto this position here. Kills off some citizen as well. Not bad there at all. As ChronoJJ managing to make some very difficult things happen here. As the town center on the front, however, is about to fall as that behemoth is doing the Lord's work, as well as the fire siphon coming through as both players dropping town centers here. And this is dangerous for ChronoJJ and for Rappel. On this position over here, it's dangerous because Rappel can't get up a military building to stop the town center from going up because the catapult's here. But up here, Rappel can get up his own military buildings very easily because there's no siege of ChronoJJ and he's getting pushed back. And it looks like he doesn't even need to because he can just take the town center for himself and delay on this position as long as he possibly can. And we'll see if he's going to be able to reset that trade route or not, as it looks like it's a little bit idle. The secret here with the idle trade is when you see it, send it to wherever you're building the market. Say it's up here. And then you can dump first and then send it over. And then you can save yourself a little bit of time on your trip. It's champion infantry coming through for Rappel as well. Hometown Center is also incredibly weak here to boot. As the raids here coming through for Rapl, looking for the villagers on this gold mine. This gold mine is now expired as well, as we see a raid over here. As Rapl is just full send onto every single location that he can. But the home base is under pressure now, as those catapults, they don't care. They don't care that you're about to have architects. They're just going to take your stuff out. As the chariot archers can clean up those archers as well pretty quickly. As the Kontari is coming through here for Rapl, going to try and take out some units. Feistus Revenge coming through. Bronze weapons, architects as well. Temple coming up here for Chrono. Maybe you can get some Avengers out or something. Eating rhinos. You can make hippos. If you want to make hippos, you can make those. Rhinos cost a little bit more favor. It's not as efficient. And here's the thing. The way to play set, I think, in 2024 is at some point you really have to start farming. Now you want to delay that as long as you possibly can. And what you really wanted to be doing is once you've started farming, you want to be making hippos, because you stay up at 160 population, making one population hippos for your army to assist it in a great way. But these rhino are more like, let me fill that population up and get a little bit more stats for that population, but they're not good if you're sitting at max population, if that makes sense. As we see the main base of Chrono under threat, Rapl now has his eyes set on this forward base here. We can also see automatons coming through. This is wild. It's really, really rare to see a classical age myth unit being trained at 27 minutes into the game. But Rapl, actually in this game, his heroic age myth unit's kind of poor. His mythic age myth unit, actually Lampede is good. You should always build a Lampede over building a automaton. It's so good. Look at the 11 damage for the warrior automaton versus the Lampede that's doing 12 pierce and 10 crush. Not even close. Plus it's ranged. Plus it has more HP. Yeah, it costs more, but as Rapl now starting to push forward. He's going after this gold again. There's still this gold mine back here for Chrono. And Chrono is the type of guy who is never going to give up, never going to surrender. And he is taken out of town center yet again. As Rapl is very much out of position here. As the citizen trying to take out a Rhinoceros of Setia. This is a big bad boy. Your bow and arrow is not enough, sir. Shunny! The market in the top corner is back up, and Rapl is back down to 2 town centers here. Carpenter's coming through for ChronoJJ as well to help him out. And he's eating, or chopping, I should say, the wood line in the main base here. Has to remember to continue making villages, though, because otherwise he's going to be falling very far behind. Same thing for Rapl, in all honesty, though. Rappel's in a bit of a better place with the 9 llama caravans. Look at that warrior automaton just getting melted by the pharaoh. That's standard, though. So raids onto this gold mine yet again. Going to move back over here. There's a nice Migdol stronghold there. As Rapl pulls back into his main base, and can Rapl take out these ChronoJJ catapults or not here? I guess one thing that the warrior automatons do I'm pretty sure they have bonus damage against set animals. No? Maybe they don't. Part of me feels like they do. I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me. Someone look at the stats. Someone look through the game files. Chrono's at 97 population, still trying to make max value out of these heavy chariots here. Chase. Doesn't look like they do. Yeah, they don't. They're only doing a little bit of damage. So, unfortunate there. I thought that myth units would have had a bonus against set animals, but I guess not. Set animals OP. It's the fortified town center getting taken out over there as well. Lots of villages falling. ChronoJJ down to 38 villages at 31 minutes into the game, where normally the standard is 80 villages. Normally you go up to 80, you get all your upgrades, and then you start considering turning those villager numbers down into military and turning them into military units. As the Rappel army moving up, we will be seeing this wooden wall coming up on this position as well. As the catapult starting to take these buildings out. Look at this raid. Warrior automaton raiding at 32 minutes into the game. 63% pierce armor. And it heals itself. Because he's got this upgrade. Wait, no, he doesn't have the upgrade. But it is healing itself. How does that work? Oh, this thing. Automatons regenerate 1 HP. It's funny. Yeah, if you get Mythic Rejuvenation as well, how much HP is that? 2 HP. So it can get 3 HP a second. Busted. Now Rapl can start thinking about this town center. Is back up on this position, is still trying to raid this gold mine, trying to whittle ChronoJJ down. And honestly, he's doing it. He is whittling ChronoJJ down. There's only a little bit of gold left on both of these positions. And continually hitting that is going to be causing lots and lots of problems here in this game for ChronoJJs. The trade route now in the top corner of the map. Walls are set up over here. Could also put a trade route down the bottom corner as well if you so chooses. We've got Kavoth complaining about how weak the warrior automatons are compared to the Pharaoh. Yeah, the Pharaoh dies just as quickly to an Arcus ball. Everything's weak! My Civ's the worst! Buff my Civ! Actually, Chronos with automatons, that's where it's at. That's where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. And ChronoJJ in the 34th minute of the game does decide to give way there. Not able to quite make it work here. He did almost find the victory. I think if he stayed 2 town centers and went for a Mythic Age approach rather than trying to defend the Behemoth push, he would have been fine here. He would have been absolutely fine to just find a very easy win. Tornado on the main base. Grab this town center, be in a great position in the Mythic Age, great economy. But unfortunately, he went for that defensive approach, and Rappel just was trading really nicely and finding the win. Like, ChronoJJ's got the units lost advantage here by a considerable margin, but the economy just so far behind. Whereas 10,000 difference at one point here, it's shot up to being something crazy. What is that? 20,000 difference? Yeah, 20,000 difference at the end there. Anyways, well played here by Rapl. Does win the series in a clean sweep, 3-0. And we'll move on to the next round where he's got to face a very strong competitor, I'm sure. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider to follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.